This conference will now be recorded.
Right? This falls under implementation methodology in Workday. Okay, implementation process. So when we're doing implemented process, we have several tools. First, we have to prepare and we have to use existing tools. It requires tenants, resources. You can include when I say resources, the people who are going to be implemented, like us. Okay. So first thing, let's talk about tenants. What are our tenants we need while implementing Workday? What are our tenants we need? If any customer wants to implement Workday, going for license, by default, Workday will give you several, few tenants, not several, only few tenants. Those are implementation 1 tenant, IMPL 2, Sandbox preview tenant, Sandbox production. Until we will migrate the data or during implementation, they will give another tenant called just a second. Not writing down the term. Yeah. Short form we will call it as CC. Okay. So this is the package tenants Workday will give you during the license. Question: is this tenants are enough to build the Workday? Those are not enough. What we have to do? You have to subscribe additional tenants from Workday. 3, 4 tenants based on number of countries, number of models implementing. You require to subscribe. What is meant by subscribe? So these remaining tenants, apart from this implementation 3, all the tenants are giving as part of the package. And only this tenant, every month you have to pay, a customer has to pay some amount to the Workday. It can be somewhere around $2,000 to $3,000 based on the data they are preserving in this tenant or configuring in this tenant. Every month they have to pay. And customer also have an option whenever they think they don't need this tenant, they can unsubscribe. Workday automatically remove and the customer no need to pay the amount. Okay. So migration tools. During implementation, so there are certain tools Workday has given. So what are the tools? iload, advanced loader, or you can call it as cloud loader, migration recipe, and solution, object transporter. Okay, they are the tools Workday has given. Even you can use EAP. They are the tools Workday has given, which helps us to migrate the data from one tenant to the another tenant during implementation. iload, advanced load, migration recipe. These 3 are available only during implementation. During implementation, only these 3 are available. Remaining 3 are available across all the tenants after you go live, which means in production we have this option, solution of EAP. If you're doing implementation, you're going to play around these two. I mean, not you, sorry, let me say one. We have a tool called except this you will use. You have a role called conversion consultant who is going to play around the Excel spreadsheet templates. Okay, they're going to work on these tools. So we are going to work on this tool. You just simply select what all data you want to migrate from one source to another tenant, source to target tenant. These are all we will use in our production environments, Sandbox environment, implementation environment after post-go live support. For example, you created 5 compensation plans. Okay, during support project, you created new 5 compensation plans. You created in implementation 1 tenant. Then you want to move the data to the implementation 2 tenant for testing purpose. Then after you want to move the 5 plans to Sandbox Sandbox tenant for UAT. Once you want UAT done, then you want to move the 5 plans to the production. How many tenants you have migrated so far? 1, 2, testing purpose, 3, 4 tenants you migrated. If you don't have this tool, you're going to require to create manually 20 plans you require to create, correct? So this migration tool helps us to migrate the data from one tenant and another tenant. Only these 3. Okay.
Kiran, when you say, I'm sorry to interrupt. When you say data means like what are we created, right? The tasks and everything.
Correct. Normally, we have 3 pages here. Okay. Sorry, 4 pages. Page 0, page 1, page 2, page 3, go live. This is the Workday recommended approach if anyone is implementing Workday. There are some customers I have seen. They don't bother about page 3. They want to just P1, P2, then immediately they want to go live. They don't want to wait another additional 3 months. It can be to reduce the cost, or it may be they're in very hurry to move on to the new tool. Can be any reason. That is also allowed, but they must take an approach from Workday. Let's see how the implementation will start. Let's assume, so we are implementing HCM and integrations. Okay, HCM and integrations we are implementing. So first thing, where we'll start, we will start P0, P0. What is meant by P0 or P0? P0 is a simple configurations, like here we'll configure 10, we'll hire 10 employees, we'll create 10 positions, we'll create 2 compensation plans, we'll create 2 or 3 supervisor organization, just to give a demo to the customer how the data looks. You will hire their actual names. You will show like the CEO, how they look in the organization. Once you hired an employee, how the CEO data looks, employee end-to-end data looks. Okay, it's a kind of a sample data we will do in the P0, just to familiarize the customer how the Workday looks. That's it. Okay. So once the P0, we will give here a 2 weeks time. Okay. Once the P0 went well and the customer is okay, now they will feel how Workday looks, they're okay, and how Workday is working, whatever. Then actual implementation will start from here, phase 1. You can also call it as wave 1, W1. Okay. Phase 1 here will start. So what happens here? I bring the tools. Let me take this tenants copy here. So first I'll bring the implementation 1 tenant. Phase 1 build. I will give this tenant to the HCM team. Let's say, for example, let's say we are all one team. I will ask Chaitanya ma'am to take care of supervisor organizations. I will ask Harita ma'am to take care of staffing models and job profiles. I will ask Funny sir to take care of compensation data. I will ask Rajesh sir to take care of business processes, configurations, etc. And I gave a strict timelines for you guys. Just for an example, I'm saying, don't mind. Timelines like we have to complete all this data within 3 weeks. Okay, let's say it's the first foundation tenant, right? let's say 1 month. Okay, I get the time till 1 month. So we all will work together on every day, and we also help each other. If I run into any errors, I will reach out to you. You guys will help me. Like that, as a team, we all will configure, and we have to complete the task in 1 month. So when I say complete the task in 1 month, where are you tracking? What are all data? I want to know, like, what are all supervisor organization Jaital ma'am configured? I want to know what all compensation plans Fani sir has been configured. Where we will track. So here we need some tools. It can be, we will call it a space. So we need some tools here. It can be a Zira, it can be a ServiceNow, okay. It can be an Azure is the recommended one actually for implementation. So what I will do, I will create set of tasks. Okay, I'll create set of tasks on each person. You can also call it as tracker. So these many supervisor organizations, these many cost centers, these many customer organizations, these many locations, these many regions, Chetan ma'am has to configure and so on so data. Okay. So once you guys configured those, you have to mark complete. So that's a proof for the project manager. Okay, this person has completed the task. You can call it as, if you don't have any tool, you can also use build tracker. Okay, you can also use build tracker. So what is the build tracker? Let me show one example. Just a second, I'll open a document. So if I'm leading the project, I will recommend strongly, though you have Azure tool, though you have some other tool, I strongly recommend use the build tracker, for at least for your reference. It's something like row number and object name, object ID in Azure, dependency if applicable, owner, status, completion date, business requirements, pending if any, or you can say simply comment. So now I will take just one example. Compensation. Recently we have configured, right? We'll talk about compensation. Etc. Okay, like peer salary plans, event salary plans, if applicable, compensation package. So this is my tracker. Personal, I will create myself, and I will also recommend to my team to configure this. So this is the tool where the management leadership is going to review. They're not looking into your tool, the one you configure. They will always go through the Azure because it will show in pictorial diagram. Total task completed, total task in progress, total task on hold, why they are on hold, everything they can see the pictorial diagrams. Okay. So here you can also capture object ID if required. ID is nothing but you're going to capture these details in a tool where both customer and the manager leadership can access. Okay. So IDs in a sense some unique numbers for each ID. Okay. So dependency. So what I mean by dependency here? So can I configure a salary plan without compensation element? Anyone? No.
No.
Because base pay is the element you have to configure, correct? But the dependency, right? Yes, compensation element is required. So make sure this must configure first before you are moving on to these. Correct? Dependency is there. Who is the owner? What is the current status? Did you complete all the tasks? No. Either you can say in progress. These are not yet started. Some are you might be completed. If completed, when you have completed. And is there any pending things from the business? They have not. Are you waiting for some details from the business? You required to capture here. So this is nothing but a build tracker. It's strongly recommended to create, especially during implementation, not in support part. So you can track what all tasks you're going to work. You will list out what is the dependency. You list out. You can see whether you have completed, you have not completed, are you waiting for certain details from the customer. Everything can be tracked. Okay. So like that, we'll configure build tracker each person. Every day we will set up a call before we are going to sign off. That day we will see what is the project status, what tasks you have completed, how much percentage. So management always looking into number of, they're not looking into number of tasks, they look into the percentage of build. Total 1000 objects you need to configure. How many objects you have configured today? What is the percentage? Okay, based on that, they will see whether we are aligned to the project deadlines or timelines or not. Okay, so build tracker is more useful. So let's assume I give 1 month of time. Okay, we give 1 month of time. So we are all every day we are starting the work, we are progressing, we are tracking, we're marking as completions, we are discussing the challenges, we are helping each other, and we have completed implementation 1 tenant. Okay. We complete the build here. SCM tenant, we have in implementation 1, we complete the SCM configuration. What is the next step? Once we configure it,
We'll test
testing,
that,
right, sir. So you need to do testing. So how to do testing? You need a tenant for that. So you'll bring the implementation to tenant.
That means, again, what are all the things we configured in implementation 1 tenant, right? We will move to implementation 2.
Yes, sir, I'm coming now.
So which
Here,
tool that you are using for moving from 1 tenant to another?
right, sir, I'm coming to that point. So I'm not going to use any tool at this moment in the phase 1 because whatever I have configured as per my document. Okay, I'm gonna migrate all the data to how I will going to migrate. I will raise a case with Workday. Okay, along with case ID, justification, business justification. I will request Workday to copy my tenant, means whatever I have configured here to implementation to tenant. Remember, I'm not migrating any data manually. I'm asking Workday to copy implementation 1 tenant to the implementation 2 ditto. So Workday within 4 hours to 8 hours after you raise the request, they will copy the same data whatever you have here in this tenant. How they will copy, what tool they will use, no one aware. Okay, so they will copy the data here. You may ask a question, why we are not doing manual migrations? Why we are doing copy? Copy takes 4 hours. If you take manual migrations, it will take a week to 2 weeks. To reduce the effort and time, I will take help from Workday. Okay. Once they migrate the data here, now so far what you did build. Here you did build. And what we are going to perform here is testing. So right. So we have to write a test cases. The test case must be created prior to implementing first phase itself. You have test case in hand. So the test case can be in a spreadsheet. You require to write a test cases, or if someone already written, you require to execute the test cases in the testing tenant. Okay. For example, select an employee who is a manager. Select the worker related actions. Navigate to employee compensation. Select request compensation change. How the test case looks.
Case name, description.
Sorry, you were saying something.
Yeah, test case name, description.
Yeah, test script, details, or in detail, or you can say expected outcome. Status. Oh, it should include here. Okay, so we'll get a test script like this. Of course, it depends. It's not like standardly we have to create like this. It depends on the modules, team, whether everyone has to agree. Okay, standard ones. So this is my test script. Expected outcome. Expected outcome. Owner. Vanessa. Status. Pass. Completion date. Comments means completion date. Comments means if it's failed, or if you're not able to see, or if you have any questions, you have to say. So like this, we'll configure. Okay. Maybe the test scripts, what I can say, proxy as a partner. Okay. So result you can say instead of status, and you can test whatever they have given test script, and you can track. So this activity will perform here. You may require to run hundreds of test cases. Okay, you may require to run hundreds of test cases here. So once you run the test cases, again every day we have a call. In this call, we will talk about how many test cases we have run, how much percentage we have completed, how many test cases we have passed, how many test cases we have failed. Okay, that all we have to track. And again, once you get the defect, you have to raise the defect in Jira and assign to the respective owner, or assign to respective yourself if you are the owner who configured the task, and give the expected completion time, and work parallelly. You have to run the test cases, parallelly you have to work on the defects as well. Okay, so once you fix, if you identify any defect here, fix the defect in implementation too, and then update the fix in the HCM configuration also, because this is your master tenant. Okay, so you're fixing the issue here, and again the same fix you're going to apply here. Why? Because this, from this tenant you are going to migrate the data going forward. So if you get the defect here, sure the defect is also here in the implementation one tenant, correct? So we have to fix here also. Okay, for testing, let's say 3 weeks we gave. So within 3 weeks you required to complete the testing. Okay, once you complete the testing within 3 weeks, we will take a day break if managers, project managers allow. Then the P2 state will start, phase will start. I already exhausted with my tenants. Master data is available, testing data is available. I have tenant 3 here, which I subscribe. I will bring this tenant here for my phase 2 implementation. Now all the fixes are applied. This is my master data. Now I want to migrate the data from him, from implementation 1 to implementation 3. Now we may ask a question. Why we are not asking Workday to copy within 4 hours they will complete? Why we have to do manually? Any idea, sir? Any guess?
So at this stage, it is master tenant. We finalize that.
Correct. So when you migrate the data, there are some certain changes, or maybe you don't want to migrate certain data. Maybe configured for your testing purpose. You don't want to send, you don't want to migrate certain details. You want to hold. So remember, during first configuration, mistakes will happen. So what are the data you don't want to migrate? Mark the data is DNU, stands for do not use. Stands for do not use. Then migrate the data. Okay, how we are going to migrate? With the help of the tools what we discussed here. These two tools will be the conversion team. If required, take the help from conversion team. For some objects we can migrate through migration recipe. We can use this one also. And here I'm going to give the time 3 weeks. Okay, within 3 weeks the migration must be completed. Again, everyday call, stand up call, how many data, how many what all data we are migrated, are there any challenges, any errors or issues are coming in during migrations, etc. We have to discuss on daily call. Once that migration has completed, okay, remember we are in P2. What next? Testing. What are the data you migrated? Again, you have to do a refine, right? Testing you have to do. Now all my tenants are occupied with the data. I don't have any tenants. I have master data here. I have my testing data here. I have my migrated data here. So either you have to subscribe a new tenant from Workday, or since you already migrate the data from master tenant, okay, migrate the data from master tenant. What is the tenant number? 1. This tenant we did testing, right? We will raise a case with Workday to remove the data from this testing tenant. Make this tenant as blank, 0 data. So Workday again 4 hours to 8 hours. They will run some programs or whatever. They'll make this tenant as blank. Now I'll take this tenant for my testing purpose here. Page 2 testing. In page 2 testing, there might be change requests. There might be change requests, CRs. Okay, which means the data whatever we configured might be required to change, or maybe some additional data needs to be incorporated or included in this build. Okay, so considering that, we have to be aligned to the timelines. So testing you have to do, sorry, before moving to testing, first complete the change requests, CRs if any, and then proceed for testing. Again, the test case you already have handy. You can go with the same test cases, or you can add some more new test cases. Based on the change request, we have to create some new test cases, correct? Amendments also we have to do. So testing again, complete the testing. Now this is your master tenant. Okay, this is your master tenant because change request and complete build also there. Once you do testing, again repeat it. If you find any bugs or issues, fix in the tenant 3, IMPL 3, and fix here also. And then once you complete the testing part, all the issues, defects, whatever you got, you updated here. Move on to the last build, IMPL. Okay, here now what tenant we have free? So this tenant we are reusing. So now I have this tenant is free. I will ask Workday to make this tenant as 0 data again. Then I will bring this tenant here for my page through build. Okay, and again migrate the data from implementation 3 tenant to the implementation 1 tenant with the help of these tools. Within 3 weeks, you guys will migrate all the data. Then here they're gonna run, I mean the integration team, functional team together, they're gonna run some integrations to check all the data is picking up by the integrations or any issues. Those are not part of our job. The integration team will take care. So if their integrations are not picking up any functional value, there might be issue with their integration or there might be issue with our configuration. So we have to troubleshoot and fix it. Some testing also will happen. Okay, once you migrate the data here, you will call it as master tenant, and also you do integration testing, etc. Okay, once you can select, we call it as integration testing. Integration testing in the sense they have integration tenant, our functional data plus integration data is available. Both are running together and sending the values to the respective vendor. If everything goes smooth, then on fine day, we can raise the UAT. Here, what are all other tenants I have? I'll bring the Sandbox. Now from master tenant to Sandbox, we will migrate the data from master tenant to the sandbox. Okay. Now here the user is going to do a UAT test. So compensation partner will run few transactions. Benefit partner will run 2 transactions. HR partner will hire an employee, promote an employee, create a position. Recruitment team will create a position, create a job profile. They will just do a random simple test. If everything is, they have to sign off. Yes, I tested these 2 or 3 test cases. It looks good. When they do sign off, then immediately, if everything is, when you are going to the sandbox, make sure 0 errors. If you got 1 error also here, there are chances we may lose the trust of the customer. Okay. So make sure 0 error. So once the UAT is completed, then we'll bring sandbox preview tenant here. Okay. So then you can copy the data from master tenant to the sandbox preview. Workday will copy. So here you have the data, original data. When the customer wants to go live, Workday will copy the sandbox preview to the go live. And this is nothing but your production tenant. Any questions are here? I know it's a little hard to imagine until we'll work on this concept.
One question.
Yes, please.
When you do testing, like, there is a separate dedicated testing team is available, or else we only need to do test.
Good one, sir. So it depends on the project budget, sir. I have seen some customers where they're bringing the testing team separately. I also have seen the customers to reduce the budget. They asked us only to test. Some customers together from their team, customer side also their team, and our side, my team together collaborate. We tested also. 3 things I have seen in this Workday deployment in my 11 years of experience. Depends on the project budget. Some teams are very strict. If ABC company implemented testing, they will give to XYZ company. They have budget. Some companies are there. If ABC implemented, ABC only have to test. Some other companies are there. They will use their resource to help us to do testing to reduce our further budget. It depends on cost cutting.
Yeah, at least we can test in implementation 2 and implementation 3. So as soon as we finalize the master plan. So what about the sandbox testing? That is UAT testing, right? Usually UAT
The
testing
actual
is
user
performed
will come
by
into the picture.
business,
Right.
right?
Sorry. Go ahead. Sandbox.
Actually, as per my experience, UAT testing will be done performed by business people who are interacting with customers and who are working with the real-time data, right? They will do it.
Right, sir. So each person will come from each module. As I mentioned, compensation partner will come and see the compensation. But they're not going to test all the data. They will select 2 or 3 plans randomly, not planned ones. Benefit partner will select 2 plans. Payroll partner will select 2 earnings. So like that, they will do run a test.
But they won't test entire functionality.
They don't test other functionality. They will only limit it to test their whatever the model. For example, you are a product lead for compensation with your customer. I implemented. So you're going to run compensation testings here, 2 or 3 max.
What about the performance testing, load testing?
Performance load testing will be taken care by the integration team, sir, not the functional. Because they have to check the memory in the sense when you're integrating multiple applications, right? The space they will call to run the programs. Yes. That is nothing but integration testing, and not part of function. So what they will do, for example, they will. Okay, since you asked the question, I'm stepping into that also. There will be certain time for integration. It should be completed within 1 hour. There are exceptional cases, it can go beyond 1 hour. So if anything is going like that, you have to understand, you have to analyze why it is taking more time. For example, I have payroll cutoff time 24. My integration is running whole day. This is not sending any file. 25th also came. When we will pay salaries to an employees, right? These are all performance issues. So you have our load related issues. More data is there. So what they will do, they have to analyze why it's taking more time. Is it due to memory size? between the integration system and the sender, or the complex logic we have incorporated in Workday that must be simplified so that the time will be simplified, time will be reduced. That's why Workday recommends always don't use more calculated fields. The more calculated field you use, it will take the more time to calculate. That's why we have to always go for standard fields in Workday. Okay, this is they have certain template. So this is an integration should take only this much time. This is an integration EAB should take only 20 minutes. I'm just saying randomly. Core connector, if it is a worker, it should take only 1 hour 45 minutes. Core connector compensation should take only 1 hour. Core connector benefits should complete less than 2 hours. Patchy peacock integration should complete less than 4 hours. Workday have standard measures. So Workday run those integrations. They will see whether the integrations are working as per that within timeline or not. I'll give one example. One point I missed here. In these 3 builds, here Workday team will come into the picture. Okay, these 3 people, whomsoever implementing the end user, whosoever implementing to customer, implementation partner, Workday. These 3 people come into the picture after page 2. Before we are moving on to page 3, what exactly they will do? They will run certain reports. Those reports are called delivery assurance reports. Workday team will run delivery assurance reports. Based on the reports, when you run, it will bring some data outcome. You can call it as audit reports also. To check whether they are configured as per the standards or not in the tenants. Based on the outcome, they will give a color code for the project. Green, amber, red. If you got green, which means your project is excellent. It has been configured as per the standards. Though you get 1 or 2 errors, they will do exceptions. If you get amber, you require to change the project plan. Particular module, whomsoever you are working, the particular module plan must be changed. Amber means it's a kind of an alert you have not configured or your designs are not accurate. Normally, this will get integration team. By any chance, if we got the red, the implementation partner got the red. By any chance, the next day, the project is going to be take over by Workday. This person is completely out of scope. Red should not come. If it red came, the project failed. Time, efforts, tenants, whatever, budget, everything is failed. Workday will take out this project and they will implement for customer. Similarly, in integration also this happens, but they will do load test as I mentioned, integration test, time, how much time, performance testing. They will do the integration side. Okay. Any questions?
What's the time frame for UAT testing?
Time frame for UAT testing. It's a week, sir. It's a week. It depends again. If I have only SCM, I'll give week time. If they have full suite, SCM, benefits, talent and performance, payroll, etc., maybe 2 weeks.
So, what if we got any issues in any defects in UAT testing? In that case, we need to extend that.
If you got any defect in UAT test, this page is failed. That's the reason here Workday will come into the picture before. 99.9% they are not supposed to get. But still, if you get one problem with the customers, or if they get one defect right, they may think, okay, the rest of the configuration also may have defects. Correct?
Okay.
They may think, right, sir? So that's the reason Workday will give assurance here. So that's why they'll give this color code and they'll give the certification kind of thing. They are configured correct properly with the customer.
So
99.9% you won't get, sir. Yeah.
The decision is the business people who are partner from that particular model. module. They need to
Right.
decide whether we can go with we can sign off that UAT testing or else we need to fix that issues.
Right, sir. But I never seen anyone got during UAT test. But if anyone got UAT test means it's a very big issue. Okay.
So Kiran, this implementation 1, 2, 3 depends on the size of the change, right? Size of the change
Right.
also, right?
Right, sir. So I have seen one customer in UK. When we recommend this approach, they said we don't want to complete our project in 6 months. P2 is fine. We'll move on. Next build is go live date. So they're trying to cut down almost 1.5 months or 2 months time by removing this P3. When they're choosing this approach, we are not the decision makers. We have to let Workday also know the customer wants to close the project with P2. Workday also will ask certain questions why you are hurry. Okay. So by removing this P3 build, almost they may save a lot of money. Correct. So different customers, different minds. But Workday will still allow, but they will take a kind of approval kind of document.
So Kiran, to summarize, like when any change comes, you will first implement and you will use the implementation 1. Once you've done that, then you will move to the implementation 2. There you will start testing it. If customer agree to do, again you will migrate that one to implementation 3. There again you will do the another round of testing.
This is implementation, sir. Once you went to go live, right? You have two options. Directly you can test I can create the issue in the sandbox, ask the person to do test. The sandbox testing part I will explain next session, not in one day. Tomorrow we'll talk and we'll proceed for testing. Compensation is pending now. Okay. So once you move from production, what is the next step? That will pick up tomorrow. That's why I said it's a 2-hour session. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Also, if I complete sandbox testing thing, I think it won't take much time, 50 minutes or hardly 30 minutes. Then we'll move on to our compensation testing.
Okay. So basically, like we will again go through the sandbox process then.
Yes, yes, sir. From sandbox it will start. Yeah.
But
Okay.
you mentioned you will move to sandbox from implementation only, right? Not from the production, right?
No, we are not supposed to directly production. First move to the sandbox, take the UAT approval. If user said everything looks good, then move the change to the production.
Okay.
Okay, that's so far what I discussed is implementation. Okay, implementation, we are not moving to production. Workday will move the change. Workday will move all your CRs configuration from sandbox preview to production. Workday will take care.
Kiran, okay. Yeah, please. Sorry. Yeah, please go ahead.
No problem. Tell me.
So, is there any scenarios, Kiran, like suppose if the amount of the change is big, can let's say like a team size is like some 10 people, can some of them will do their changes in the 1 and some of them will do in 2, and then they will combine all these things in now implementation 3. Can those scenarios happen too?
Yes, yes, sir. That's our tomorrow's discussion. Yeah.
Okay, sure.
2 scenarios are there. A fix which completes within less than a day. A fix which requires or enhancements requires more than a day. So how to handle in that case? Because we have some limitations in Workday. So that topic will pick up tomorrow.
Sure, Kiran. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. So, is it okay if we can hold for the day? Yes, ma'am. Sorry?
The scope of core HCM.
Yeah.
We are studying core HCM, isn't it?
Right.
What is the scope of core HCM?
Core HCM, what are the chapters?
Is it?
Okay, let's come. Okay, let's complete your question, ma'am. Your question is what is Scope of core HCM. So I didn't get your question.
I mean, she's asking like, what is the scope of core HCM module? So what are the other modules it will cover? Correct,
So
right?
these are the only compensation we have covered so far. Then business process we have to discuss, transactions we have to discuss. And once we're done, then moving on to integrations will be taken care by other person. So organizations, the scope which includes organizations, staffing models, job profiles, compensation, business process, transactions, advanced events. So these are all part of HCM scope. Okay.
Okay. Okay. Because when you apply for job, we'll be saying that now this core HCM.
Yeah, no.
So
problem.
they'll be asking you questions on that. That's why I like to.
Yeah, sure. That's fine. Okay. So let's hold now and let's connect tomorrow and we'll continue on the remaining discussion and also compensation testing part. Okay. Take care everyone, then stay safe and see you tomorrow, guys. And one request, we'll join at 8:10 a.m. Then only I will get the tenant. Please, 8:10 a.m. Okay. Please don't join at 8 a.m. and wait for me. Every day I'm almost last few sessions I really felt bad. So we'll join at 8:10. Okay, sir?
Yeah, Kiran, please share that interview questions on that.
The 31 we discussed, right? Of course, yes. I will do.
The 31 and then for interview purpose. Because it's almost a month we completed that.
Right. Sure, sir.
It's
And
better.
actually, I'm going to discuss some other questions that I'm going to discuss after discussing business process. That's the only reason. So we'll do one thing. Let me share the 30 questions whatever we discussed. Once we complete our course, and then I will take 1 or 2 sessions only for the interview questions. Okay.
Sure, sir.
Thank you. Thanks everyone. Then take care. Stay safe. Bye.